Oh, we are live just like that. Okay. Welcome,
Okay.
everyone to Beauty for Ashes. Welcome to Beauty for Ashes, the journey. Today we have with us, this is a redo, y'all. We have to do this one justice because we have to do it over because, technical difficulties and her testimony deserves to be heard in the right way. So we just want to invite everyone in. We invite in the presence of the Holy Spirit to have his way so that someone may be blessed today through her powerful testimony. And Lord, your word says we are overcome by the power of our testimony. And we thank you now for this opportunity, Father. And we surrender everything in this moment to you, God. Have your way, have your way, have your way. All right. Let's see here. Again, this is Beauty for Ashes, the journey. I am Dorcas Idowu, your host. I am the humble servant to diamonds in the rough. And y'all come on over here, like and subscribe, baby. Where we are over here empowering individuals to get your voice back, to have the ability to speak your truth and set some boundaries, and most importantly of all, heal so that you too can be your powerful testimony can be a blessing to someone else. All right. We're going to go into reading Tracey's bio. So again, welcome in everyone. Just come on, take a seat, sit back and relax as we take off into this powerful testimony. We have Meet Tracey, a woman of bold transformation and unwavering faith. After more than 25 years in education, Tracey made a courageous pivot into entrepreneurship and is now thriving in the travel industry. Her journey hasn't been easy. She knows that what it means to start over and rise. After losing over 200 pounds. Yep, y'all heard that right. After losing over 200 pounds and stepping new purpose, helping others reimagine what's possible in their own lives. Today, Tracey marketing businesses, guiding them to life experiences, Christian success. Embrace their chapter, no matter their age, background, or starting point. Tracey's message is one of faith, and it will inspire anyone ready to embrace their next chapter. Let's give it up for Tracey. Welcome, Tracey. Welcome once again to Beauty for Ashes. And we thank you for coming back on this platform to bless us with your testimony. So now that this time everybody will be able to see you clearly, yes, and focus on hearing you and not trying to see you.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Thank you. It is my absolute pleasure. So we will start with what I want to know is because you were a teacher.
Yes.
What prompted that transition from teaching into travel?
Well, I've always enjoyed traveling. As a kid, I would get excited when we would go on, little family trips to our home state. With my family, one side of my family is originally from Tennessee. We were always going there. I got excited about the process of going on a trip, and I got excited about being able to get outside of my home and go visit someplace. And so I always loved to travel. What prompted me was maybe my third or fourth year as a teacher, I had the opportunity to start traveling with some of my mom's friends and her, and some of her schoolmates actually. And one of them was a travel agent, and they were going on a cruise, and they were going to Hawaii. Never been to Hawaii,
Mm.
never thought I would be able to go to Hawaii. Just never thinking of the possibilities of going someplace other than, visiting family out of town. I had an
Mhm.
administrator because they were all retired except for my mom. She was still working, but she could take vacation anytime. So they were planning the trip for December. And at the time, I was working at a school that was year round, but we were still in session. Um, my school principal was fortunate for me, was a world traveler. And she believed in traveling. And she told me, because I had to ask for a couple of days off from work, from school, so that I could
Mhm.
go with the group, and she had to prove it. I was so nervous because this was, I think, just my first
Mm.
year or second year at that building working with her, and I was doing good. She loved the work I was doing, but I didn't want to upset her by asking for time off. And I did go to her because it was for me a chance of a lifetime to go on a trip like that. And she said, Miss Warford, anytime you can travel, go. Take the opportunity. Girl, she approved those 2 days.
Come
I was able
on.
to, yes, girl, yes. I was able to go with my family and my mom's schoolmates, and my grandmother was on that trip. Uh, some of my grandmother's sisters were on that trip. Some of my grandmother's sisters' classmates were on that trip. So I was the youngest one on that trip, and I had the best time. I had
Mhm.
I saw so many things that, we've only read about in the textbooks in school. And
Right.
I got a chance to visit the Pearl Harbor memorial. I mean, it really changed me and opened my eyes to things. And so after that, I was hooked. I'm like, everywhere I get a chance to go, I'm going. And so when I had the opportunity to learn about the travel industry as a business and a home-based business, I jumped at it because I was like, this is perfect for me. I was planning to retire within several several months. I was planning on retiring, and I knew that I wanted something to supplement my retirement income, and
Okay.
this was perfect. And so I was like, I'll get a chance to travel, and travel as an insider. Anything I do, I like to know the behind the scenes. I'm a person who likes to know the details. So when someone asks me about extending an invitation, I ask a lot of questions, and some people don't understand, but that's just part of my personality. So for me, being able to travel as an agent and know the behind the scenes, knowing the process, knowing how things work, that was like a no-brainer. I was like, I'm in. I'm in. What I got to do to get started. And I know that I had at one point in time checked into becoming a travel agent after I began to travel, but the cost for that was astronomical. Even as a
Mhm.
teacher, with a teacher's salary, I couldn't afford to take the training, to do all the things that were required, to actually perform in that. This opportunity was nominal. This was minimal. I could afford to pay the cost to get started with this and have full access to everything, just like people who had paid thousands upon thousands of dollars. This was affordable for me, and so this was a no-brainer, um, to be able to have access to all of the suppliers, name brand suppliers, places that I've wanted to go, in places I've wanted to see, and be able to know the behind the scenes and all of that. That was perfect for me. So yeah.
All right. That is amazing. So
Yeah.
like before what I want to do is let just share your company with everyone, because I did get the opportunity to listen in on one of the informational meetings that was that every third that happens every Thursday. So if
Mhm.
anybody's looking for some what's additional income to add to their
Yeah.
regular income, this would be a wonderful opportunity. I just want to
Thank
make
you.
that plug.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
So
we'll see about adding that information in the informational part of this video when I figure out how to repurpose it.
okay.
Okay.
Girl, I am with you with this technology thing. I believe it or not, I love technology, but I do have to learn some things, and it can be a wonderful challenge sometimes. But yeah,
Absolutely.
my two of the companies that I am affiliated with, one is Planet Marketing. Planet Marketing is a marketing company, and they actually give me the product to travel or to sell in its travel. So Planet
Mhm.
Marketing is a network marketing company. They pay me to find people like me who want to do what I do, who want to help other people um, travel, who want to serve other people, help other people get started in business. So that is one of the companies. And the product that we market and sell is IntelliTravel. That's our host agency. So they have an exclusive partnership.
Mhm.
IntelliTravel, if you see something about IntelliTravel and you're like, oh, I want to do that, I want to do that, I'm gonna join the company. You can't become affiliated with IntelliTravel as an independent travel agent unless you come through someone who is with Planet Marketing.
Yes,
So when I
exactly.
came into the business, I decided I wanted to do both parts of the business. I wanted to find other people like myself,
Mhm.
build an organization, which I do have other people who have helped get started. And the company paid me an appreciation fee for that. They call it a referral fee. And
Mhm.
um, and so I got that, and I've helped other people who enjoy traveling and enjoy helping other people travel to start their own travel company. So they're independent of me. I'm not like a supervisor or a manager, but I am a coach and a mentor. Um,
Okay.
we have over 140,000 reps um, in in our company. We're going on this October. We'll be 10 years old. And so we have grown in over 20 countries, and we're still growing. IntelliTravel, our host agency, has been around for more than 30 years.
Oh
And
wow.
so, yeah, so when our founder started the company, he did a lot of research, and he went with someone who had a solid reputation, and IntelliTravel has a solid reputation. They have won um, what's equivalent to the Academy and Emmy and Oscar awards. They have won several years straight the top industry award for travel.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so they're solid,
Come
and
on, lady.
they are solid, and they pay us commission, because we are real travel agents for booking travel for other people, and they treat us well. They treat us well. They don't just partner with anybody, and anybody doesn't just partner with them. They're excellent, outstanding company, and so is Planet. Both companies take care of their people, and um, those are things that I checked into before. I was excited about the travel part. I was
Mhm.
excited about that, but before I do anything, because that's part of my personality, is I got to do my research. I did check into them and research, and I can say that I'm satisfied and overjoyed to be a part of their company. So yeah,
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Now, this is good. Now, this is some information that we didn't get the opportunity to get into before, but I
yes,
wanted to make sure that we let the people know about this
hmm
wonderful opportunity. So I'm glad we got,
yes, yes,
yes, yes. Now, baby, let's transition into how this over to. not one, but 200 pound weight loss.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's get into that journey. Let's get into that because so many of us live that struggle on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So I have my my entire life, probably as early as 4 or 5 years old, I have had a weight problem, and I've been overweight. I've been considered obese, overweight, um, most of my life, and as I grew and got older, a teenager, early young adult, and everything, the weight never went anywhere. As a matter of fact, it just kept growing and growing. Um, Eventually, I ballooned up to 384 pounds. That was my highest weight. Um, and but I was active.
Okay.
So, people say, well, you could have lost that weight. You just need to change the way you eat and da 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 and exercise. Well, no, I I had been doing that since I was a kid. I was an active kid. I was not a kid who sat in the house watching TV all the time. I was outside until the street lights, as we would say, would come on.
Right.
You had to be in the house, or you better have your feet touching the porch getting ready to go through that door before the street lights came on. I was that kid. I was always outside. In grade school, I played basketball, volleyball. I did all the things.
Mhm.
Because we didn't have a car all the time when I was growing up. We caught the public transportation where you're walking everywhere. As a teenager, I walked, you know, wherever I went. I would catch
Mhm.
public transportation, but if my allowance was short and I wanted to do something with my friends, I would walk and save my bus fare so I could have extra money. So my
Mhm.
level of activity was right with my peers. Um, a lot of times they could eat me under the table. So it wasn't like I was just sitting stuff in my face all the time. That wasn't the case. I had a metabolic issue that made it difficult for me to lose weight and keep it off. As a matter of fact, it created a situation in my body that made it ripe for diabetes.
Mm.
So I had polycystic ovary syndrome, which is the short acronym is PCOS.
Mhm.
I had insulin resistance, um, which, if anyone knows, insulin is a hormone, just like everything else. It created a hormonal imbalance in my body, which created the environment for the weight gain, the challenges to lose weight and keep it off. So I would be doing all the things, but I would lose so much weight, maybe 15, 20 pounds, then gain it back. Um, the 15, 20 pounds that I lost, but then also extra. And it just had my body on this vicious cycle of yo-yo dieting. I had gone to all of the weight loss programs you can think of. I'm not giving free advertising, so I won't name them, but you know who they are.
Right.
um,
Right.
yeah, I had done liquid diets. I had done liquid diet while I was in college for like 6 months. Lost a tremendous amount of weight, looked really good, got a lot of
Mhm.
compliments. But when you stop doing the liquid diet and you start eating again, even though I was eating healthy, I was still gaining the weight. And so I had lost like, I think probably like 40 or 45 pounds. But once I started eating, the 40 to 45 pounds that I lost came back, plus an
Mhm.
extra 15 or 20, then some more,
Mhm.
and it just kept piling on. And over the years, it just ballooned up to 384 pounds. And the catalyst for me was because, I told you I love to travel. The catalyst was when I had my 50th birthday. My mom and one of her sisters and I traveled to South Carolina and stayed in this beautiful condo on the beach. And we were 1 block away from the beach. And I was so excited because it was a milestone birthday. I wanted to do something special. So my aunt, whose birthday is also the same month as mine, just a few days before mine, we decided we were going to do this big trip. So we went to Hilton Head, South Carolina. I could not walk the one block from the condo to get to the beach. On the walk there,
Mm.
I almost collapsed.
No.
Yes, I almost collapsed. I started having difficulty breathing. Um, I terrified my mom and my aunt. They thought I was getting ready to pass out and just die right there. And my aunt panicked, my mom panicked, and they immediately we stopped right there. Um, because I still wanted to go because I was like, I
Mhm.
didn't come all this way not to see the water because I'm a water person. And so, um, after I, took a break, my aunt got her vehicle and drove me as far as she could to get to the sand, to our spot that she had reserved for us on the beach. And that was so traumatizing to them and to me that I made a decision then that I was going to have to do something to get rid of this weight. Um, and what I didn't say is that a few years prior to that, I had had a weight loss surgery. I had had the lap band surgery, and that was limit. It gave me limited success, but I
Mhm.
started experiencing some complications. So I lost about between 70 80 pounds, but I
Okay.
gained about 30 of those pounds back.
Okay.
And then I started developing complications where I wasn't able to always keep food down. Um,
Mm.
something, as thin as yogurt sometimes
Oh
become,
wow.
yeah. And what they found was that it had started to affect my esophagus. So,
Mm.
um, but I felt like a failure. I was like, I thought it was something I had done that caused me to not continue to lose the weight.
Mhm.
And in spite of me not being able to eat like regular meals and keep food down, I wasn't losing any more weight. And the reason behind that was because of my endocrine system and the metabolic issues that I was having. So my doctor sent me to an endocrinologist who
Mm.
explained to me that that surgery they found later had been a faulty surgery and that a lot of people had complications and hadn't had the success that they were expecting with that surgery. So, fast forward, they recommended that I have it removed, that
Mhm.
I have a revision to the gastric bypass. And so that's what I did. And that started me on the journey to being able to lose over 200 pounds.
Oh wow. That is, something I relate to this testimony, to this journey, to this part of your journey in particular.
Mhm.
And one question I do want to revisit is,
Mhm.
how are you doing now? Like when you look in the mirror,
Girl,
do you still struggle with seeing that 300 plus pound Tracy?
I do. I do. I
Mm.
have to tell you, when I started losing the weight, and I wasn't losing it as fast as some people lose it. They considered me what they call a slow loser,
Hmm.
and my doctor was okay with that because he said the slower you take the slower the process of losing it is, the more likely you are to keep it off. So my primary doctor was happy with the progress and my labs. Um, but my mother had to force me to buy new clothes because I
Mm.
was still trying to wear the same clothes. You know how you have your favorite outfits and stuff. And I've always loved clothes. Even as a heavy person, I would,
Right.
I made the sacrifice because I like to dress. I like to look nice. I like to look cute.
Mhm.
I like to be fashionable. And so I made the sacrifice to do that. And so I
Mhm.
had certain things that were my favorite pieces. And I was still trying to wear them. Girl, I had a leather jacket that it was cute. It was a mint color leather
Come
jacket.
on
And it was the collar and everything. And I was like, I'm still gonna wear this jacket. And girl,
Right.
I could wear that jacket and wrap it around myself twice. And my mother
Mm.
said, "You gonna have to let it go." And I knew I couldn't wear it anymore, but I had difficulty giving it away because I thought, well, maybe I can get it tailored and cut. No, I had to release it. But in my mind's eye, I was still seeing the 384 pounds and me being able to wear that jacket. And I had an episode where I was going out the house to go somewhere, and my mother told me, "You need to go get you some new clothes." And I was in tears because I thought she was just being mean. And I got in the car and I called one of my friends and I said, "My mom was telling me I gotta go get some new clothes. And I know I
Mhm.
don't look that bad in this outfit." And my friend said, "Yes, you do."
Come on. Come on.
She
You
said,
all
"Yes, you
right,
do."
friend.
She
All
said,
right,
"Yes,
friend.
you do." She said, "Girl," she said, "stop holding on to them clothes that's 4 sizes too big to you and trying to figure out how you can tie the belt to make to hold them pants up.
Okay.
Go get some new clothes." And
Period.
so that was, and I still struggle because even now when I'm looking at clothes, I still feel like I need the larger size. And so, yeah, there's some days that is worse than others, and some days that I can see it. Um, because I have a lot, losing that amount of weight, I have a
Mhm.
lot of excess skin. And
Mhm.
so when I look at myself with the excess skin, I'm like, wow, I did lose all that weight.
Mhm.
Um, but honestly, with the excess skin, if I had that skin gone, I would probably be 2 sizes smaller than what I wear. So yeah, I struggle with it. I still do. I still struggle with actually seeing myself in my new body. I do.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a thing, like for real. And
Mhm.
for all the young women and men out there, or women and men that out there who can relate to this, this
Mhm.
is the safe space that we have created here on this platform. Beauty for Ashes, the journey. First of all, if you would like to come on and share your journey,
Mhm.
send me an inbox. Send me an inbox, and we'll set something up so that you can, because we are empowered, we are overcome by the power of our testimony.
Yes, we
We
are.
get together and support one another through this,
Mhm.
because there is a time I want everybody to have the ability, once they lose that weight, to
Mhm.
look in that mirror and see themselves for exactly who they are.
Yes.
Know your identity in Christ. Know who God says you are, because knowing your identity is the key. You
Mhm.
won't be able to see your new body unless you know who you are. So I
Exactly.
want to encourage each and every one to get into that word and find out who God says you are, because that is the key. It is so easy, because like Tracy, I do you ever feel like now that you have that small transition is there, to have the ability to see yourself in the present? They call it grounding, right? Where
Mhm.
you're in the moment. You're not in the past, and you're not in the present. You're not in the future, but you're in the moment.
I do. I do.
Okay.
And I I talk to God daily and constantly about this. And I thank him every day because in addition to the physical appearance,
Hmm.
I feel so much freer. I feel so much better. I feel healthier. Um, and that has a lot to do. So things that I would not do before because of the
Hmm.
weight, um, I do now. Um, just something as simple as walking up and down the stairs.
Hmm.
I used to be fearful of that
Oh,
because,
wow.
yeah, I used to be fearful of going up and down the stairs because I thought, "Ah, I got to go up these 2 flights of stairs. I ain't gonna be able to breathe when I get up there."
Hmm.
And that was real talk because usually I couldn't. my joints hurt all the time, and I couldn't. But when I say trust in God,
Hmm.
and He kept me, um,
Yeah.
He shows me daily. He does not play about me.
Okay.
He shows me daily. I'm precious in His sight. He
Yes.
kept me when He didn't have to. And
Hmm.
so when I look in the mirror, I may not always see what I think I want to see,
Hmm.
but He shows me who I am to Him.
Yes.
That's most important. Um, I was the core of who I was before the weight loss is
Hmm.
still there. That
Yes.
person is still there.
Yes.
Now I'm physically free to do the things and be the person that I always was on the inside. Um, I've always loved being able to help people and to do things. No, now I have the physical stamina to be able to do that. Um, when I see someone drop something, I can bend over and pick it up now without
Hmm.
cutting off my breath. Whereas before, that was an issue. I might
Right.
want to help them, but physically I needed help. Um,
Mhm.
just little things that people who didn't have a weight issue take for granted sometimes. Um,
Right.
I find myself thanking God for those things daily,
Yes.
daily,
Yes.
daily. And they're not a small thing to me. They might be small to other people because they were always able to do them. But to me they're
Hmm.
big things. They're big things. And I thank him for it.
Yes. And
Yep.
yeah, I hope y'all hear Miss Tracy clearly. I hope y'all hear her and stop this body shaming. And I
Mhm.
know it's not going to happen overnight, but what it is so many people do not understand the struggles
Mhm.
that so-called the label that they've given a lot of us is
Mhm.
obese individuals deal
Yeah.
with on a daily
Yeah.
basis. When you see someone who is considered obese or overweight, don't just automatically assume that they just fat and lazy and don't want to lose weight. No, that's not always the case. That's why I'm
Mhm.
so just elated that Tracy has taken this time to come and share her testimony with us, because these are more stories that we need to hear. These are more journeys that we need to hear to help us continue on our road to healing and
Mhm.
wholeness. Because, like she said, the physical, yes, she's physically free, but
Mhm.
there's another layer to this, everybody. There's
Yeah.
another layer. There is a mental layer to this that
Yes.
has to be addressed, and there's more healing that we have to do, and that's
Mhm.
something that I want everybody to embrace. Don't be afraid to face your Goliaths.
That's right. That's right.
There's
That's right.
always a deeper reason or deeper layer to the reason why we are the individuals that we are, and why we deal with the certain things that we deal with mentally,
Mhm.
spiritually. So the thing is, I want us all to be whole individuals, having the ability to face those things that are deep down in our subconscious mind, so that we don't end up back where
Yep.
God set us free from.
Yes. 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 And I'm glad you brought that up because there is a lot of trauma
Mm.
um with people who, even as a big girl, I uh, I had confidence.
Yes.
I had confidence. I had confidence in my beauty. I had confidence in my abilities. I went to school. I got 4 degrees. I had
Okay.
confidence.
Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Okay.
girl. And so I knew, and I had gifts and talents.
Mm-hmm.
But the first thing people saw was my weight. The
Mm-hmm.
first thing they judged me was my weight. And a lot of people thought that I was lazy, but I was far from lazy. When I went to grad school, I went to grad school working full time and going to grad school full time. Lazy
Mm-hmm.
people don't do that,
Right.
you know.
Period. Come
Uh-uh.
on. Come on.
And so
Talk
when
that.
when
Talk
I was
that.
teaching, yeah, when I was teaching, girl, I took pride in hooking my classroom up. Lazy people don't do that. I didn't
Mm-mm.
go, because they clean the rooms at the end of the school year and let it sit over the summer. When you come back, you got to set that classroom up. Some people were okay just putting the desk in rows. No, I put effort into making my classroom be someplace that my kids and students wanted to come to. Lazy people don't do that. Um,
Right.
you know, there were a lot of things that I did. I worked 14-hour days. Lazy people
Mm.
don't do that. You know, so there was nothing about me that was lazy. Nothing. So laziness and my level of effort didn't have anything to do with my weight, but people made that assumption. And even I think the last time I mentioned how one of my administrators accused me of not wanting to be at school. And
Mm-hmm.
the truth of the matter was he was right. I didn't, because when I look back on my journey, a lot of times I didn't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I did not feel well. I was diabetic. I was, even after I had had the first weight loss surgery, I was still considered diabetic, and I still had to be on some medicine. And one of the medications that I was on that helped maintain my blood sugar actually made me sick. It's
Mm.
now listed in my medical charts as an allergen
Mm.
because it upset my system that much. But because it gave me good control of my blood sugar, I kept taking it. Um,
Okay.
then one, because I was taking like 9 different pills per day to
Wow.
manage my blood sugar. And one of the pills, actually, one of the side effects was weight gain,
Mm.
which is like ironic because when you are diabetic, they want you to keep your weight under control.
Right.
So one of those pills actually had a side effect of weight gain. The other pill, which I had to take four of those per day, made me sick, upset my stomach all the time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was another pill that I had to take that was supposed to work in conjunction with the pill that caused the weight gain. So
Mm.
when that administrator said that, I denied it, but the truth of the matter was I didn't want to be there. I wanted to be somewhere laying down because I felt awful.
Right.
I didn't realize how bad, excuse me, I didn't realize how bad I felt
Mm-hmm.
until I actually started to feel better after I started losing the weight and I was able to come off those medications. Um, I feel phenomenal now. So when I say I'm physically free, I'm
Mm-hmm.
physically free. Do I feel 100% every single day? No, no one does. But
No.
compared to
Mm-mm.
how I felt before, I feel wonderful. I feel wonderful.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
congratulations to you. Congratulations,
Thank you.
congratulations, congratulations. And one thing that I just want to be of encouragement to you,
Hmm.
like to be mindful when the enemy tries to come with the attacks of your body image,
Hmm.
because now he would sometimes he wants to bring up new things, like bring up something else. Oh, you lost that weight but you got that extra skin. Oh, you
Oh,
lost
yeah.
that weight but you still look at you, you ain't 100. Oh, you
Mhm.
shut up, you a lie, you go back to the pits of hell where you came from, because you
That's
have no
right.
power here, first of all. So you
Hmm.
keep your nasty lies to yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I found that, like I said, I do relate
Hmm.
to your journey. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's we don't take the time to pause and celebrate our wins
Hmm. Hmm.
without
Hmm.
criticizing ourselves, because
Yes.
we walked in shame and embarrassment for so many years of our lives.
Yes.
So when we get to the place where it's like from one level of shame to the next,
Hmm.
one level of embarrassment to the next, that add to insecurities. So what
Hmm.
do you do to overcome those levels of insecurity?
You know, I the scripture that tells us to pray without ceasing.
Hmm.
I am always talking to God.
Yes.
And, you know, sometimes it's a long drawn out prayer and sometimes it's just a few words here
Mm,
and there. But he shows me who I am.
mm,
Um, and he helps me to see things. Um, because like sometimes I'll look in the mirror and I will see that 384-pound person. And then there are times when he opens my eyes when I'm looking and I see that person, and
mm,
literally it's in the blink of an eye, I see who I am now.
mm,
But one thing he brings to mind, there are things that I can do now that I couldn't do at 384 pounds. And he reminds me that he kept me during COVID when people like me who had my stats didn't make it.
right.
There were people who didn't have my stats and didn't make it, but he kept me. Um, there were times, there were other times that I should have been gone according to man's word and man's
Mm,
thought process, but he
mm,
kept me. And so him just showing me how important I am to him has been my saving grace, because um, he lets me catch glimpses of beauty,
mm.
glimpses of triumph.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and just reminds me of who I am to him.
Mm,
Um, and he's put people in my life to encourage and to support me, because sometimes even when I don't see those things myself, other people see them. I have been in spaces where people had not seen me in a very long time. They didn't even recognize me.
mm,
They didn't know who I was. And then when they realized who I was, these people were godsends. They were truly happy to see me.
mm,
They and they weren't people who mistreated me because of my weight. They were
mm.
people who had genuine, authentic love for me, but now seeing me without the weight, knowing that I'm healthier, they're happy to see me still be here, because they were
Right,
quietly worried about the effects the weight was going to have on my health.
right.
Um, mhm. So different things like that God has used to help me to see my transformation for what it is,
Mm.
which is miraculous and a blessing.
Yes,
Mm,
yes. And
yes,
thank God for those truth tellers along the way. I mean,
yes,
yeah, it hurts to hear the truth sometimes, it does.
mhm,
But it's like medicine to us
yes,
as well. Like,
yes,
and it helps aid that transition, the
mhm,
transformation. It
mhm,
helps to aid it. You have to be, it's good to be surrounded by people who are going to be honest with you. And like, I have a friend that says, consider the source, okay?
mhm,
Because there are
mhm,
some people that are going to tell you some things, or they're going to be honest with you, and they genuinely love you. And
yes,
they wouldn't tell you anything to
mhm,
intentionally hurt you, but
mhm,
it's for your growth, and it's because they genuinely care.
mhm.
Where true love comes with correction,
Yes, it does.
right? Like, I'm going to
Yes,
tell you, I'm not going to sit here and look at you eating I'll say a bag of a whole box of pink box donuts, and
mhm,
just look at you eat it and not say nothing,
mhm,
knowing what your
mhm.
goal is.
Yeah,
Like, no, that's an extreme example, but I mean, there's
mhm,
just, you need people in your life are going to be saying, now, come on now,
mhm, mhm.
think about
Yep,
what you're doing to yourself. What's going on with you? Why are you doing that?
yeah, yeah,
Because it's deeper.
yeah, exactly. And I thank God for the truth tellers. Um,
Hmm.
but the other thing I thank God for is that I listen to him,
Yes.
rely on him, because I had people who were fearful of the weight loss surgery, because they said you could have complications and you could die. And I had to tell them, I said, I have to trust God, because either
Hmm.
I'm going to die on that table, die after that table, which we all going to die, or I'm
Right.
going to die carrying these 384 pounds because it's killing me.
Right. Period.
I had had multiple experiences that showed me that carrying that weight was slowly dying. I was slowly dying. Um, you know, it was what it was, and it is what it is. Um, you know, I didn't spend my time overweight bashing myself. Um,
Okay.
some people would think, well, you big, why, they think I wouldn't take pride in my appearance because I was overweight. No, I always took pride in my appearance. I always believed in putting my best foot forth when I did things, and when I showed up in public, I wanted to look my best, I wanted to perform my best, I wanted to be my best. So that wasn't that I was never that person who didn't take pride in the temple that God gave me. I took care of
Mhm.
it the best I knew how, and I tried to do that. um, so that was never me. I was never that person. And I apologize. I told you about that mosquito trying to get me.
Right.
But yeah, but I was never that person who did not try to take care of herself. Even with my weight, I still tried to eat healthy. Yeah,
Right.
I enjoyed certain things like everybody else did, but for the most part, I had a healthy diet. 90 to 95% of my diet was a healthy diet because I knew I was diabetic. I knew there were
Okay.
certain things that I shouldn't
Okay.
and couldn't eat a lot of. So
Right.
I always tried. I was even vegan for 6 months, and trying to be careful what I put in my body.
Mhm.
So I was never that person that people stereotype overweight people for being. And
Right.
so my journey has shown me that I could be unapologetic about making the decisions that I made to lose the weight. After I had the surgery, I reached a point where my weight loss stopped. So my doctor
Mhm.
suggested that I, take the medication for to continue to manage my diabetes. Um, but also a side effect of it is additional weight loss, Manjaro. I I'm taking that now. That helped me. That was another part of my journey to help me get over the over 200 pounds loss. And
Mhm.
it helped in so many other ways. The research has shown. I don't suffer from the inflammation that I used to suffer from.
Oh, wow.
It's helped. Yeah, it's helped with that. It's helped with my joint issues. It's helped, and and let me say this: I'm not a medical expert. I just want to put that disclaimer out there. I'm only telling people the effects that it's had on my body and my
Right.
system. So I just want to say that. So don't come for me. Don't come for our hostess,
Right.
because I'm not saying that. I'm telling you about my journey and the things that helped me. Um, so it's helped with that, and it's helped with some of the symptoms of my PCOS. And
Okay.
yeah, and so those are things that I struggled with um, because of the endocrine system, and so it's helped with my lab work is phenomenal. My A1C is beautiful. My doctor is very, very satisfied with the progress that I've made. So God has let me see all of those things. So even when I look in the mirror some days and I'm looking at the saggy skin or the extra skin, ask me if I care about it. No.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Do I care about I can walk up 2 flights of stairs now without being short of breath? Without being in pain? Do I care about me being able to move around and do things to help my mom, who's a senior citizen now? Those are the things that are important to me. Do I care about when I go to church and worship service and some of the mothers in the church need help doing stuff? I can do that. I can be the one to help them now. Do I care about that? That's what I care about. You know, those things are more important to me. Would I like to be able to not have to um, buy clothes 2 sizes bigger still because of the excess skin? Of course I would, you know, but I'm not complaining about that. I'm not walking around here naked.
Hello. Hello.
So I have no complaints. I have no complaints. I feel better. I have more energy. I'm freer. And when I travel now, I can do the walking tours. I don't have to be afraid to go on a tour because I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to walk or go up some stairs. I can do that. Those are things that are important to me. Traveling now at this stage of my life is so much more enjoyable. And I'm so thankful to be in a business that supports that vision I have for myself to go and see more and do more. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Y'all,
Yeah.
let's give it up for Miss Tracy. This has been an amazing Beauty for Ashes, the journey testimony that we have had as Tracy come and share her journey with us. Y'all, come on now. Like, comment, subscribe, especially comment. Get in those comments and let us know if there's some things, some questions you have for Tracy. If you are a young man or a woman or man or woman that is contemplating having the surgery,
Hmm.
get in them comments.
Yes.
Get in
And
the if
don't,
you don't want to hit get in the comment, get in the
yeah.
inbox.
And don't apologize. Your journey is your journey. Don't apologize for making decisions that you make that are for your own well-being and health. Don't apologize. Do your research. Find out what's going to work for you and get in, like she said, get in those comments, ask some questions. Share your testimony.
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, and I thank you for inviting me to your platform to be able to share my story. And I hope and pray that it's encouraging to other people. And that's always my goal when I share my story.
Absolutely. And it is an amazing, powerful, transformational journey that you have experienced. And I'm so grateful that you shared it with us on our platform. I
Thank you.
just want to just encourage you to just keep going. You look absolutely
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
So do you. And I'm gonna have to bring you over
And
to.
just know that you are, I appreciate you, my king.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you too. I'm so glad we were able to reconnect. And I just thank you for being who you are and being willing to provide a platform for people to share and encourage and inspire other people. So thank you.
It's my absolute pleasure. All right, y'all. Know that I love you to life, but
Yes.
Jesus died for you, and don't you never forget it. Till next time, y'all. Beauty for Ashes, the journey.
Yes.